Hey, good morning. Good day. Good whenever time you're tuning in. Welcome to Office Hours here, brought to you by the Pure KNF Foundation. Thanks for being here. I'm not feeling too hot this week, so we'll see how it goes for me. Get into that in a bit. But office hours, 1 hour, you got me here. Ask questions, join the community in the chat a little bit, find out good things, and if you're really into it, join the Pure KNF Foundation. Let's see, I might as well yeah, let me just finish this up before I get into that. I'm not thinking as clearly today, I think, as I need to be. But here we go. We'll start with a bit of higher wisdom before we get into all the rest of the stuff. So today is following. Do not argue with what is. Simply follow the progress of truth. Wisdom teaches us that in order to obtain a following, which is the aid and agreement of others, we must first practice our self-following. This is done by steadfastly observing what is correct and putting it into practice. In other words, we follow the sage. This hexagram comes to remind you to make it possible for others to be loyal and helpful to you by redevoting yourself to the path, following inner truth. It is essential now to quietly accept the way things are. This does not necessarily mean you endorse or celebrate current circumstances, just that you do not resist them. Acceptance is the most fundamental principle in the philosophy of the I Ching. To resist events is similar to resisting the turning of the earth. You only exhaust yourself in vain. To resolve a difficult situation, follow the good within yourself. Whatever correction is necessary is made possible in this way. The use of force or cunning will only breed resentment and misfortune. Peace blooms quickest where proper principles are given expression. Leading others is a delicate art, and our model is always the sage. Proceed gently with balance, staying unattached to the results, free of egotistical pretensions, leading people by following the sage, and a good result will always be had. Yeah, definitely, following, leading others, trying to follow. Sometimes, oh man, maybe just shift the schedule here a little bit here today. Was thinking about it. I'm probably not going to do an episode next week. It's Easter Sunday. I think I might prioritize a few other things in my life besides this office hours, which I find is very valuable, very amazing, but I think I will take that as a holiday for myself at 9 a.m. Actually got invited to go over to my neighbor's church and watch their son sing, so I might hit that up. I don't know, do some following instead of some leading that next Sunday. Plus it's Easter Sunday, time to spend with family. I mean, I know this is like family for a lot of us, and especially we got Stonemason in the house. What's up, Bridget? Definitely would consider you part of the natural farming family, member of the Pure KNF Foundation, somebody with just a genuine heart for goodness out there, and kicking down with some super chats right off the bat, man. Thanks. Appreciate it. And thanks for giving me, an opportunity to share with you, and to be out here. And we got Rainbow Possum Farm also in the house, coming in from sunny Seattle. I don't know. That's what she was saying last week. So just, I guess it's love from Seattle this week, sending healing vibes. I'll just sit here and receive them for a minute. Yep. Yep. Because not every week are we up. Not every week are we down. But that's one of the things, trying to show up consistently, trying to do this. Even today, I felt like, man, I should probably take the day off. But because I didn't let you know ahead of time, I felt like, I know people anticipate this and they wake up early or late or whenever to be here live, and I appreciate it. We got Solar Gourmet coming in all the way from Germany. It must be, what time is it in Germany? I don't know. Middle of the night. What time is it there? Maybe it's midday. I'm not sure. Let's see, what is UTC? Maybe, yeah. It's 7 o'clock in London, so it gotta be, 8 o'clock there. Yep. So, yeah, tuning in all this day, building a family. So today, before we get into it, got to give you a cliffhanger before we get into it. But, we're continuing to get through Madaj, also known as Jadam, also known as Young Sung's uncredited work to his father. Organic farming, ultra low cost. Going through some of the pest solutions, these things. So hopefully we'll get into some of that, but I was thinking that maybe one of the things to get into today, I realized, so this past week I did a whole lot of answering questions at KNF support. So let me just pull that up here. Well, let me just get into it this way of going here and getting this over. So here, if you're at pureknf.org, the foundation's website, scroll down a little bit here and you get to the KNF support thing. So clicking on that, it opens a new tab for you, which, got enough tabs open. But I answered a whole bunch of questions here last week. Yeah, Talise was here. He asked a whole bunch of questions after the show, during the show. Was great to support folks like that. I encourage you, if you got questions, please ask them. So what I'm here to do is to answer them. But one of the ways I was encouraging people to ask questions and answer questions and stuff is through KNF support. So just like the office hours is brought to you by Pure KNF Foundation, so is KNF support also brought to you by Pure KNF Foundation. And these are the resources we're putting out there. And because I ask you to answer, you can ask during the show for sure, because this is also, office hours are hosted here. Office hours are in part of KNF support. You can view it live right here. I think some people use it this way to get into it, which is great. But also there is a question answer text thing here. And one of the things I was realizing is like there's this IPMO question. And I may have answered this okay or not. Despite, Chris and Steve are claiming they invented this, and it kind of rubs me a weird way of claiming they invented it, because it's been well known before them and after them, and it's open source public knowledge. They may be popularizing it, which is great. I encourage people to popularize these ideas. But when someone goes out to say, I invented this, you really got to check an ego there. And most likely you stood on the shoulder of giants. It's just like saying, as we're going through this Madaj book, if you've been following along the last couple of weeks, it's like he invented all this stuff. And it's like, well, there's no mention of his father and how you can look back and him and his father collaborated to make these things happen. So, but anyway, I was thinking to myself, I was like, well, okay. And I did, in this answer here, I'm talking about, kind of, humbling themselves a bit here in terms of their inventions. Popularizing the idea, if you popularize something, all the more better for you. Lunar eclipse tonight. Awesome. Yeah. Go away, moon. Must be a new moon tonight. Or no, full moon tonight. Lunar eclipse, new moon. Solar eclipse is, what is that? New moon. Oh, you know what? And before, but I did want to talk about GCM, and I did go on a trip in 2019 to go study specifically GCM. So, and I realized I never published any of this data, right? I went on this trip to go learn about gelatinase chitinase microbes, which are basically IPMO. This is a very specific strain of them. If you join the Pure KNF Foundation, you listen to our first monthly meeting guest, um, Tomer. He was talking about shortcuts. And this is one of them where they're specifically brewing microbes. Instead of IMO, they're brewing specific microbes. And GCM is one of them. So, and adding things to make your IMO approximate what they're doing with GCM makes a lot of sense. And there's ways, if you read this answer here, you'll find out, what's going on. But I realized through all this, several things. One is maybe right now it makes sense to just share. So I'm not feeling too great today. So it maybe makes sense to pull up my other hard drive here and get into some of the GCM footage that I got in 2019. So I'm going to get into that. Before I get into that, since you mentioned the moon, let's pull up the moon app here. And today is Hoku. Can we full screen this? I think we can. There we go. And instead of just reading this, let's just click on it and go into the app. So here we go. So if you have an iPhone, you can download this. It's called Mahina Moon app on the iPhone. And today is 3/24. Yeah, it is. Great. It says excellent for planting, and it's a full moon. You can see it's pretty darn full. Hoku was the full moon. So it says excellent day for planting all kinds of plants, but taro and bananas will be abundant with small fruits or corms. So you can plant all kinds of things, but your taro or bananas are going to be, a lot of fruit, but small. And so seeds will become animated by the full moon. So, if you go out there and they're going to be animated, I guess that means bouncing around, doing their thing, super active, extra little bit of sunlight coming back to them during the night through the moon. Unless you're into the flat earth and then you just have a whack idea. You don't know how the moon operates, but that's fine. And then Hawaiian fishing advice is good fishing, especially at sea, no fishing on shore. So if you're going to go out to the ocean tonight, good time to go fish at night. Upa Palu, first to bite. Not sure what that is, but we could look it up. Watch for high waves, meaning that when you got a full moon, you got more energy coming through, more case for rogue waves, high waves. Hawaiians believe that tonight is the actual full moon phase. And so, yeah, the actual full moon phase, that's why we have a lunar eclipse. The sun and the moon are directly antagonist with each other, meaning, full moon's on this side, Earth's here, sun's over here. And so you're going to get a complete full moon, because when we're looking at the moon at night, if we're on the day side, we'd be seeing the sun. We're on the night side, we're seeing the moon. It's going to be completely illuminated. And then as it goes, it gets smaller or new on this side, right? And that's how the moon really works. So take note, all you flat earth people, that's how the moon really works. Yeah, so it's an actual full moon. You're going to have a direct alignment of the sun, the earth, and the moon all in alignment tonight, especially right during the lunar eclipse. You know that they are all in an exact alignment. So great, good, fun stuff to observe. Cool. So yeah, so the moon calendar, so all the haters out there that say it's not accurate, it is 100% accurate, because it's saying the full moon's going to happen tonight, and we're having a lunar eclipse tonight. So there you go. It's 100% accurate. Gotta be. There's people that are like, well, it's not accurate. It's like, well, what if the other calendar you're looking at is not accurate? 100% accuracy on this one. And, works 100% of the time, 10% of the time. Well, I don't know about that, but whatever. Speaking of the ego and following, I should probably humble down. Maybe it's not accurate. Maybe the other ones are accurate. But you know what's accurate is lunar eclipses don't lie. It is 100% full moon when a lunar eclipse happens, so calibrate your calendar to that. Nature is always right, to quote Stephen Cornett. And so I do want to get into GCM, maybe some Jadam, but before that, we got Stone Mason asking a question here. What do I think about making IMO5 and using fermented bokashi compost for the newt source? Would it be too much of the lactic acid bacteria protectors? I don't, maybe it's because I'm kind of feeling under the weather, but I'm not exactly sure what you mean. So what do I think about making IMO5 and using fermented bokashi compost for the newt source? Like, so are you saying mix like your CN ratio together and then add IMO add, I don't know. I don't understand. Can you ask that in a different way? Let me just see. I'm just gonna CN ratio. I'm just gonna pull this up just because what I mean is carbon nitrogen ratio. And when I talk about CN ratio and composting, make it IMO5, which if IMO5, I'm not going to call it IMO5. I'm going to call it, make it fermented mixed compost. Okay. So one is CN ratio, the ratio of the mass carbon to nitrogen organic residues. It can, amongst other things, be used in analyzing sediments in the soil and organic matter and compost. So it's carbon to nitrogen ratio. It's somewhere between 4 and 10 to 1, meaning 4 or 10 parts carbon to 1 part nitrogen is going to end up in your composting to be optimal for breakdown. And then here, an optimal CN ratio in your soil is 24 to 1. So 24 carbons to 1 nitrogen. So when we always think of adding more nitrogen and we over nitrogen our soils, let me make my cursor bigger. Yeah, so when we change this ratio and we add more nitrogen, we end up burning out some of our carbon out of the soil, and that can be hugely detrimental. It's one of the reasons why throwing nitrogen on your ground can be extraordinarily dangerous, is if you change this ratio, and then it will consume your carbon faster and you can burn the carbon out of your soil. And so even though you get nitrogenous great growth, you end up undermining your soil. And we're always throwing nitrogens out there. And who the hell in conventional farming is throwing carbon out in their soil? They're not. They're killing off their microbes, which are the ones bringing in that carbon. And they're just throwing nitrogen, and it is obscuring this value. And then they are burning out their carbon, essentially burning it off by adding so much fuel to it. And then it is resulting in less microbial activity when they change this value. So many people don't think about that. They just think, I got to throw nitrogen to do this. And you don't realize you're burning off your carbon. And then if you're going to throw more nitrogen, you better be throwing more carbon out there, meaning mulch or compost or something to balance that out. And if you don't do that, then you're going to burn off all of your carbon, which is so hard to get carbon back in your soils. So be super careful on that. This is, can be, and they say again, CN can be with compost, manure, mulch, they can be change the thing. Any excess carbon will cause the nitrogen to be consumed, and any excess nitrogen will make the carbon consumed. So you end up in this thing here, which is very problematic. So when you're amending soils and you think, I'm going to amend all this stuff and make it better, you're actually probably, it's all about balance. And, if you can add one, add the other. And that's why natural farming solutions are always balanced, have all these things together. They're doing their thing. And unfortunately, as much as I'm loving talking about this, and I think this is a super great topic to get into, CN ratios and these things, is that my head is also not in the game. to be doing this right now. I'm starting to get a pulsing headache, and I'm just recovering from a week of the dreaded COVID. I never tested. I don't test. I don't believe in it, but I did get a virus, and it hurt like hell all week, and I'm just barely recovering now. And I could have maybe done more natural farming stuff to get myself better, but I ended up drinking pool water and going the ivermectin route, and it worked pretty darn well to recover me. But man, I tell you, when you have a virus hit your body, it hurts like hell. So anyway, as much as I'd like, maybe I'll revisit this, because CN ratio, going through this seems like a fun topic to dive into, because there's so much more natural farming to talk about in relation to this, because this article is very short when it should be much longer, and very not good. So maybe we'll come back to this. So I don't know. If you're asking if you can add too much protectors to a compost, probably not. They're just going to be eaten up by something else once the temperature gets too high. Lactic acid bacteria tend to keep the temperature lower, which is good. CN ratio, they're going to help. And then all one same, we got, some membership, the donation to my page. I gotta deal with this email here. I did see it come through. Our membership liaison, I don't think, dealt with it yet. So there, you bought a book, is what ended up happening, and then there was like a $6 donation, and then there was like a $60 donation. So I don't know. I have to go through. It's like you bought things from two different companies, and so it's like I gotta deal with that. So anyway, much confusion on that, and something that needs, customer support that I don't really want to deal with on the office hours, because it's not really relevant to everybody. It's kind of a personal issue for you. So I'll deal with that later. I think he's asking if he can use what is produced after bokashi's anaerobic fermentation. I think you can. Yeah, after bokashi has anaerobically fermented something, sure. Compost it. Just get your CN ratio again, carbon nitrogen ratios proper. Things are going to compost. In fact, I've heard that lactic acid bacteria, specifically like the KNF protectors, will accelerate your composting. I don't know. They have a lot of nitrogen in them, type of thing. I don't know. I need to be in better headspace to truly answer this question here. But yeah. And dealing with customer support for the Pure KNF Foundation, all that, we got to put a system in place so we can deal with that. So we can get a ticketed system. So when you have an issue, you can raise it, and then it'll go through a support system where it won't just fall through the cracks of emails, because it got emailed, and then it got emailed, and there was never like a response to it. So we got to put in some infrastructure and getting some things going. So there's we're starting off small foundation, building things, trying to get our membership offerings out there. Thanks for your patience. I'll try and get to that here and go. So and I'm trying to deal with everything, and we'll get to it. Thank you for your patience. Appreciate it. Thank you for your support. Thank you for wanting to be part of this, and thank you. I'm not feeling so well, so thanks for that. Gonna try and use the bokashi for a nitrogen source. You probably will have nitrogen in there. It's just, it's all about the CN ratio. You really got to understand your materials and how those go. So if you search carbon nitrogen ratio composting, they're going to give you a better idea. Then it's a well-studied topic just beyond natural farming. People they've been doing that forever. So thank you everyone for your patience. I'm going to fire up some videos to help me out here just for a bit, and then hopefully toward the end of the episode here I can feel a little bit better. But I'm gonna give you a little bit of preview here. I got I just wanted to show you, because some of this has never been released. Okay, so what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna go to this screen here. In fact, I might even get myself out of here. So I'm just gonna relax. You might be able to hear me while I do this, but I'm just gonna go to this one here and do this. And then you're seeing the whole screen here, and I'm just gonna go and preview these. So so I think this will work like this. Okay. So do I want to talk? I don't even know if I want to talk. Can I go down? No, it's not gonna let me. Okay. That's not gonna work. Is this gonna work? Yeah, okay. So great Korean. You know, I'm in Korea, you can tell. Because when I taste the little world, a wind bell blessed me. I was blessed by scenery when I appreciate such a small world. Classic Kringlish. Just classic. Love Korea. Look how nice my hat was. And I had this nice ribbon because I'd just come back from Washington, D.C., supporting Native Indigenous women's rights. Look how woke I was. Just look at those woke eyes. Joe's favorite place. Look how excited Joe McGinn is to go to E-Mart. He's practically dancing as we go to E-Mart. But let's just get to some videos. Writing Korean strawberry, strawberry. Nice translation there. I love this stuff. Shiitake muniums. Raichi. When we go to Korea, it's mostly about the swag. Buying swag. And the donuts. This donut shop, man, every time I go to Korea, I go to this donut shop. Absolutely love it. Like $1 for a donut. Not even. At the donut shop, look how happy I am. Christian came with us. Farmers Union guy from YNI. Super great guy. Look at all this produce, man. This loaded.
And you put your carrot in, so when it hits the sand, it stops, and then it just goes down. Huh. It's really cool. It's like really like neat farming.
Oh, here's some Chido-san stuff. It's funny we were there for Chido-san. Here's Chido-san being used in, I don't know, some sort of beauty product. Classic Korea, going to the market. But you probably didn't come to see this. You probably came to see, after I get out of the city, well, we ended up staying in the city for a while because it's fun. That's the whole reason I go to Korea. I mean, besides the farming, but, and the food. Oh, bro, look at those chicken wings, man. So delicious. And also the scenery's nice. I mean, you're in the most industrial city probably on earth. I haven't been to China, but, you know, riding the KTX, I think, freaking awesome. Oh no, we're in a bus. Eating food. So it's all about, but you know, here I'm just showing food. We didn't really go for the food. I mean, we did go, I can't lie, we did go for the food. Look how good that is. Look at that. Grilled right on your own table. These people are genius. But you probably want to see the farming. So besides the food, oh, Auntie Jenny, what's up? What? Are there no okay, now we're getting to the farming stuff. Okay, so we went here. What's behind here are three GCM huge reactors. They brew these microbes in these reactors, these, you know, tanks with heaters, with stirrers, and then they give it out to their farmers, okay? So that's what that is. That's a huge, massive facility that brews GCM and gives it to their farmers. This is us being swaggy. Four reactors even. Four. It's more than just three. 5. There's 5 of them. But we got to go see how the pumps work, how the transfer pumps.
Yeah, bro.
So are you posting that like today?
No, nothing. I mean, only a few things.
Looking in the reactors. What do they look like? There you go. Big thing in there to stir it. Heaters in there. Heaters to heat it up. Big stir. Ladder so you can go in there and clean it.
Elements, the mixer, the pump, and then they just sub pump it out. Yeah, I could build one of these.
So this is what they do. Motors, pumps. Cleaning it, you know. So this is like a big reactor, you know, and then this is how they pump it to the farmers, these gasoline pumps here. They just pull up with your truck and they use this little transfer pump to pump it into your tank. Looks like it's going to take forever to drain that, but maybe, you know, maybe this is like a 15 gallon per minute pump. I don't know. Transfer pumps. And then getting back on the bus. So this is now we're at a sweet potato field.
I don't know what. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah.
So I'm not sure if these guys were using GCM or not. But we did go see people growing sweet potatoes for some reason. She's just sitting there harvesting them. It's probably like 90. All the young people in the city eating the sweet potatoes. They leave their grandma back at home to harvest it for them.
They don't like to make a bigger size or smaller size. This is the right size.
So you're watching unpublished stuff that's never been seen before. Unless I showed it before in the office hours, but I don't know why I didn't publish this stuff, but Dr. Park. Perfect size sweet potatoes. So here we are. I don't know. Was he talking about how they did it? I don't know. I might have skipped some. So going to a rice field. So we saw a sweet potato field. Did they use GCM or not? I don't know. Keep going. Look at that. They got a nice BCS to harvest for them. What was up, Ken? Nice sweet potato field. Oh, look at that harvester on the BCS. Nice little plow, I guess, maybe thing. Cool harvester for him. Nice potatoes with the harvester in the back. Wow, look how artistic. Even better. This is Grandma. What's up? Obasan. And I guess it's Oma in Korea. We got our little tool. It's the perfect tool. I got one of those Korean a mini hoe. She doesn't want that one. Almost son out there making a living. But Korea planted everywhere, you know? Just amazing. Love that country. Dingleberries in the bus. Ray out here. Oh, we're at a rice field now. This is reclaimed land. So they pushed all this in the ocean. Joe eating some sweet potatoes. Kill Young eating sweet potatoes.
It including the
Also,
including the steel from the farm.
바닥 비료는
So let's listen and hear what they say.
네, 금년도 주택 시범 사업을 70헥타, 70헥타.
about 150 acre, about around 150. No, 150, right? 150 acre. They use tissue without pesticide and pesticide.
노 동약, 노 pesticide,
No pesticide.
그 화학 비료는 아니다.
So they use a little bit, chemical fertilizer.
바닥 비료는 우리 낙엽에서는 그 발효 액비 있어요. 발효 액비를 미생물 액비를 가지고 바닥발을 한 다음에 모를 심을 때 아주 미세한 만큼만 화학 비료를 넣고 그다음부터 GCM을 4회 할 거예요. 그래서 생산량이 금년도 수확이 우리나라인 코리아 전체적으로 한 10에서 20% 정도 줄었어요. 생산량이. 왜냐면 가물기도 했고 이번 태풍도 맞았고 줄었는데 이 GCM 농법 한 대는 절대 양이 안 줄었어요.
So second,
Well, they use a very minimum chemical fertilizer. They have a liquid fertilizer with the previous, before starting the first, and a little bit of chemical fertilizer. This year we have a bad weather, sometimes typhoon, sometimes dry weather like that. All other rice farmers decreased of their product. However, GCM is the only one maintained the same as before. So in spite of the bad weather, because this one is superior in terms of fertilizing effect, plus no pesticide, which is very different. Yeah. So this is superior farming method.
in the whole area used by using the tissue. So most farmers right now this year, with the bad condition of weather, they decrease the productivity is decreasing about 10 to 20%. But it's the maintain same like usual. They don't use any pesticide and pesticide. So that's another big story.
How do the farmer control the pest?
Oh, this.
대추에 줬어요.
They spray inside.
오케이.
They spray inside. Inside.
뿌리나 무슨 뭐
But another we have 100 hectare our side. They use snake. I'll show you how to erase the weeds. Normally in our area they use a snake instead of the snake. Snake. Snail eat every weed. It's kind of problem.
원래 여기 바다였어요. There was an ocean before. This was the whole ocean.
That's why it's so flat.
돈이 된 거예요. They made a wall, and this becomes rice farm. Then 30 years ago, they made it a wall. Then they did what was the farm.
So I didn't deal with the
Company of the Hyundai, steel company over there.
I didn't deal with the wind issues, but it's just raw footage you're watching. But Hyundai Steel may reclaim this land. This may actually be Ju Young's old land. I don't know. Doesn't that look sweet? Look at all that natural gas storage. Sorry for the wind. This is unprocessed footage.
Dairy. Dairy companies collected all their, and then they made this liquid fertilizers, and then supply this. But before we started the farming, then they use that fertilizer first, and a little bit of a chemical fertilizer on top of that, and then this is the result. Okay, let's go.
So there you go. Checking out the rice fields, reclaimed land.
에서 기회가 된다면 방문해 주시면 감사드리겠고 저희가 GCM을 적용한 지 2년 차인데 진짜 큰 효과를 받고 앞으로도 널리 보급할 계획이고요. 딱 이렇게 오신 분들도 많은 효과를 받았으면 좋겠습니다. 감사합니다. 좋은 여행 되시기 바랍니다. 감사합니다.
Thank you very much. You visiting here. He said, I think he did an excellent job, but he said that he was nice enough to be nice to you. He wants to ask you to come back to Portugal. He's going to expand this GCM to other farmers because it's so effective and working so good. So hopefully you can apply these things when you go back to your place. 감사합니다.
I do tell someone I'm to live as one. They won't come out, they won't come out to sing my song. It's the reggae. Whoa.
So anyway, the good parts of Korea, cruising with Uncle Joe there, singing his songs, Kanekapila. Look at that fat ass cat. Nice. Went to a museum, I guess. There's a lot of cultural stuff on this trip. And I'm not endorsing GCM, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying GCM's the way. I'm just showing that we went to learn about this so-called IPMO.
Please.
Yes, sir.
Look at this nice rock house there. That's how Koreans used to live before World War Korea. They used to put people's heads in these things for chiropractic uses. This is where we put people. They used to put them in these crosses to make sure they did natural farming properly. Oh, Joe tagged a rock. Oh. Or no. Ohana Mikbata. It gotta be Leilani. Joe taking it easy. I think he's gonna stab him.
This is a part of
Okay,
Poke him with that. And then
make sure the sound. Harder, he says. Harder, please.
Yes, Daddy.
better not watch that too long. Gonna get censored off the YouTube. A lot of cultural stuff on this trip. Not so much. Because the GCM, is it good? Is it bad? It's great. I love Korean culture. It's a great trip for that. Imagine what it would be like to live back when this was happening. For real. Not just like reenactments. What a trip, huh?
That thing, cool.
This is stabilizer.
Yeah. I mean, look.
So, wine for $1 million. It's $1,000. Going to another GCM. That's probably what you want to see.
About the working for farm around the 3-4.
And let me just say, one of the worst things about this trip was that everyone kept cross-talking because no one really cared about what was happening. Like, you're supposed to be listening to this guy, and all these other folks are just talking.
The increasing economy, the working at the farm decreasing. That's right. So, yeah, everywhere.
Right, this guy is our knowledgeable host, and there's crosstalk.
Now, some, young
Just like now, cross-talking on this. But growing melons with GCM.
Eggshell in the
more than
eggshell in the vinegar.
They got problems. GCM ain't a solution for everything.
Yeah, this one also.
but it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay, no problem.
And the color.
Yeah, because the outside is cool, so that's
I
why.
see.
But inside, that's
That's what happens when you go on too big of a trip with too many people, too much talk. People don't have respect for just STFU and listen. You're there to learn, bro. But nice melons. Some on the floor, they could have fermented those. They don't know about Master Cho's natural farming, though. This is just GCM. It's basically chemicals plus microbes to farm. And they're profitable. They're making money, don't get me wrong, but it's not 7th generational type of farming. So, nice melons coming out. You know, they don't. These plants don't look that healthy to me, to be honest. Look at that powdery mildew and stuff. Either that or it's chemical overspray, one of the two. But, you know, growing melons, what else? Me and this dude, that was the farmer. Eating more food, classic Korea. Organic healing food. You gotta have that advertisement here. Is that Girls' Generation? Interesting. Going to the cities. I don't remember which city that was. It was East Gwangju. Just time lapse out the window. What does Korea look like? Oh, we went to this like nature reserve thing. Yeah, okay. Scoop through this. There we go. Nice rocks. Agricultural products. Yeah. Overpriced goods. Me hanging out with the birds. Eating again. That's why we go to Korea. Look at this. This is a chemical fertilizer plant, I think. And or just so much industry in Korea. Unbelievable. Oh, we went to this bridge. That was the thing. This city, this bridge was like fancy. For some reason, it was like the biggest bridge, and then we got to go see the bridge. Like there's a monument. You climb up this thing to just gawk at the bridge because they were so proud of it. So that's the bridge they were so proud of. So a lot of sightseeing, me and Luz. Attractions. The chemical fertilizer plant. This was like a huge fertilizer making plant where, you know, when you think of using fertilizer, this is what you're doing to the earth. All this energy being turned into, you know, going in that bay and, you know, huge fertilizer plant. Again, just cruising. Oh, we were eating again. We went go-kart racing. That was fun. Actually, it was a lot of fun. Here's us driving the go-karts. It's a photo spot. Oh, and then we went up this thing at night. There's this one dude singing to nobody. It was pretty cool. This love thing. How did I not get footage of that? I don't know. Chilling. Oh, I don't know what that is.
for IPJ too, right?
Is this apple farm? I don't know, something greenhouse. Oh, it says their GCM equipment. Let's see. Yeah, peppers using GCM.
So the difference between prior to after of GCM, the quality is different. The prior to this one, GCM, they can only keep it about 2 days. But this one, after that, 3 or 4 days, you can.
Also in the refrigerator, 1 month.
In the
He said.
refrigerator, it's 1 month you can keep it.
So that means hardness. And you know hardness.
Yes.
It's very, very good. He said.
Yes.
So
Structure.
yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
GCM extending the shelf life somehow.
관광거는 우리가 정식을 해가지고 이게 지금 적산 온도가 1000m 이상에서 시간이 가면 이게 다 익습니다. 근데 이게 왜 안 땄냐면은 이거를 초창기에 따게 되면은 고온 게 무성해가지고 착화가 안 돼요. 그래서 일부러 이게 착화를 시켜놓은 거예요. 그래야만 이 마디마디에 착화가 정상적으로 이루어집니다.
밑에 걸 따면 안 돼.
그렇죠. 일단은 고온기에서는 정식을 해가지고 밑에를 따버리면은 도장이 돼.
너무 커.
그래가지고 이게 열매가 안 열려. 그래서 쉽게 말하면 영양을 생식으로 돌리기 위한 효과예요.
So 몇 년 동안 지금 저 농약 없이 이렇게 재배를 하고 있습니다.
지금 5년.
for 5
5
years.
years, no pesticide.
No pesticide.
Wow.
5 years,
They're all proud.
only GCM.
No. Actually, he started GCM 2 years now. From now,
All right.
but he did pesticide free the palms. But after using this GCM,
What the hell? I don't know why.
$1,500
yesterday.
yesterday.
But how many times do you? 아니 며칠마다 한 번씩 그렇게 따요. 지금
지금은 이제 10, 11.
10일마다 한 번씩 그런 돈이 들어오고.
Every 10 days.
About $5,000.
He makes five grand every 10
Per
days.
year,
He makes 얼마나 먼저
1년이면 두 개,
두 개에서 제가 지금 한 5천만 원.
5천만 원. 5 million. 만 원.
1년에 이자 기준에서 한 장.
No, $50,000 per year. But he has another house, another house, many. 그러면 연매 this is the cross. Okay.
So he has an herbal smoker, man.
Yeah.
No, maybe it's just a heater. It's probably just a heater. You can turn it into an herbal smoker. So anyway, and then here's this orchard out here where they can run the GCM through, what is this, apples? Looks like apples. Classic Korean thing, you know, big tanks everywhere. Pumps, sprayers, automation, making things work. Classic. Nice BCS just rusting. It's a big one. Taro growing out there. Apples. Looks like
What is this? Oh, this is an organic food processing facility that we went to. It's like their co-op where they process different things. Is it? Why did I just put my camera there? I don't know. Did I not get any of it? That's amazing. Maybe we just walked around it for several times.
Microorganism and use
Growing rice
organic
indoor.
pesticide.
Okay.
Okay. One important thing is that the next one, but same plant. Normally, Korean farmer cultivating 2 years. After that, they turn over because they have many diseases in root side. So they turn over and replant again. But when I first meet this the husband and wife, that time to turn over. But I strongly ask this guy, do not turn over. Use this one. So now, until now, that's the 4 years old. The garlic, chives. No more problem in root side. So if you turn over, you have to pay, seedling price and labor price. Also, you have to wait to grow.
So
That's a huge money. But
same plant for 4 years.
yeah, same plant. So you cutting and degrow, cutting and degrow.
yeah.
They harvest 8 times, but normal, the conventional, the farmers, they harvest 4 times.
Wow.
Think about that.
Double. 2 times.
Also, the summertime, like this one in the greenhouse, the temperature is very high. So many problems. Like a very softened, the 물렁하게 된 거. 요거 이빨이 물렁물렁. Softened. But using this system, no more that kind of problem. You understand? Without turnover, I'm almost sure at least 10 years. I think. I'm sure almost. I'm not God, but I'm sure.
Drip system plus spraying system, he said. Double.
Yeah, in the bottom, there is the horse. And then spray it. Okay? Not hole. Yeah, drip.
수분은 어떻게 맞춰요?
The ferment is there.
그냥 고기에 좀 말랐다 하면 찌끔찌끔 돼요.
항상 축축에 있어야 되네.
이 하우스가 몇 동 있어요? 사모님, 하우스가 1년에 지금 현재 한 얼마 정도 해요?
All right, well, transition back here. Cheryl says every time the YouTube feeds an ad, it kicks her to the beginning. I just put ads on today. I don't know how that feature works. Maybe it's not even worth running ads. I don't even make pennies. It's better, I'd rather actually not run ads and just get super chats or something than running those ads. So maybe next time I won't do it. And if you're a member, then you're a member. You're helping this sponsor anyway. Why do we make you watch ads if you're a member? But anyway, I just wanted to share a little bit of GCM. Thanks for giving me a little break with that to feel a little better. Now that I feel a little better, it's good. Been recovering this week, been doing all this stuff. But this question here, I just wanted to show, because he was asking about IPMO. Talise was asking about this, right? IPMO. And as if Chris made some stuff up, it's like, no, they've been using these microbes for years, these different ways of cultivating things. The GCM is not in the vein of Master Cho, but it is Korean natural farming of some sort. It's chemical. It's very chemical based. It's very industrial oriented. It's not the same as what I'm talking about most of the time. But yet, I've been there to study, to know these things. And, you know, Chris was not on that trip. You know, some of his disciples were, which is good, you know, but to understand what was happening with GCM, to understand that microbes, you know, these different solutions, these different hybrid approaches, these different ways of doing microbes, these different things. It was, you know, Dr. Park brought us there. So the same guy that brought us Young Song Cho, the same guy that brought us Master Cho, same guy that brought us, you know, hope and life and everything. I wouldn't be here without Dr. Park. He brought us there for that technology to learn about chitinase and gelatinase, both those very good microbes. Specifically, you know, your mileage may vary, but I just wanted to put some of that footage out because none of it's been, I only released ever the first video from that series, and the rest I just kind of sat on because I thought to myself, it's like, I'm not particularly advocating for that technology. I don't think it's necessarily what we should be pursuing, but that it is out there and it is a technology, and there are ways to use gelatinase, chitinase microbes that are specifically tuned to eat gelatinase and chitinase. And maybe when I'm feeling better, we can go a little bit further through that and what it means and go over this topic again, maybe after we finish the Madhaj, you know. And this time I know I left a cliffhanger to say we'd get into this, but I'm just not feeling well enough today to go through any of this at all. So hopefully those videos helped, and just like a little bit of my commenting on that, but kind of went through the trip. There was more to the trip. You know, I just, it's all I could share in this hour. Hopefully you got to learn a little bit directly from the sources. Kil-Young Kim, the professor on GCM, he also, little preview here. I'll transition back to the screen here. But he also came to Hawaii here, and then, you know, gave a whole lecture on how the hell the GCM works. You know, this isn't him, this is his student, but there is him talking to us, you know, in Hawaii, giving a lecture on how the heck the thing works. So I do have more footage, and then also, you know, we had a little promo here of us getting together. These are the people that helped facilitate his trip, building the brewer, doing that stuff. Dr. Park, my dad, Otto Ossie, and Joseph Kim there, making the things happen and doing the, you know, he has this mega profit farming book, which I used to sell until I ran out of them, and then I never restocked them. So, you know, but you can learn basically how, you know, he decided, you know, to name it mega profit farming. But that's just the GCM technology in a nutshell by Kil-Young Kim. And so there is more, you know, you can look at my 2019 files here. I got a whole bunch, you know, I did a whole lot that year. I was very active in natural farming, you know, trying to get out and do a whole bunch of stuff. And these are just, you know, videos here of all the things that I did. But the GCM trip was one of the big ones where I went to Korea. I also did an Aloha tour that year, meaning that I went over mainland America. Let's just see a little bit of preview of that. What is this photo? Oh, it's Sue's chilling at somebody's farm. You know, we went across America here. This was actually in Texas. Look how nice that is in Texas. Helping them transition to KNF and all these things. So I got, you know, I got more footage to share, more things to do, more stuff to do. So hopefully you enjoyed looking a little bit at that GCM trip. It's not necessarily a technology that I'm going to be like, hey, go do GCM, because I don't think that is really, I think you're better off doing KNF and then learning how to tune your KNF to bring GCM into it. And we can talk about that on a further, another episode. There's always more office hour tech, you know, like Suze was asking me the other day, she's like, are you running out of office hour stuff? I'm like, there's so much stuff to cover. There's so much in KNF. I've already been doing this for like 3 years. There's hundreds of episodes. You can go look at them. KNF support through Pure KNF. Hundreds of hours. You could basically just learn so much from this. And I'm not saying like I have all the answers and stuff. I'm just trying to follow these great people that I have, share with you, be part of this, build a community,
gain membership, please join the Pure KNF Foundation if you're not already a member. And if you are a member, thank you so much for bringing this episode to everyone who needs it, because they all need this, right? And this is cool. Like, share, subscribe, get this out to your folks, put it in your groups, be like, oh my gosh, this is one, you know, if you find this valuable, do what you do, you know, do the YouTube things. Thanks for hanging in with me this episode. Not the most high energy for myself. I'm feeling a little bit of better, you know, had the little thing of the videos. Hopefully those things help me get through this, you know, but hours and hours and hours. I could do this for a lifetime. I'm pretty sure I may end up doing office hours for a lifetime, plus our monthly meetings for our members, which is coming up again the second Sunday of the month. So if you were looking for more great things, we got a great guest coming up this month. We got Spencer Karen from Royal Flush Farms in Idaho. Actually, they're in Oregon, Eastern Oregon, Nissa, right next to the Idaho border. So Cheryl, Spencer's going to be on, bro. And Earl, also known as Lauren Haney, great guy, admin of the KNF group for a long time. Great friend of mine, came to my wedding. Spencer was my officiant, just tight brethren, amazing guy. He's going to be featured this second Sunday for our members meeting. So if you're it's exclusive only to members. So if you're not a member, join pureknf.org and get in there and do the stuff that you know, and get more out of this. Amazingly, I think that's one of the reasons I'm so run down, is I've been doing so much lately. And I got sick, you know, but which came first, chicken or egg? I don't know, you know, but anyway, trying to give it all to you guys, because this is what matters. When I think of what matters in my life, it is this and doing this. And so thanks for your support. We got Stone Mason giving a super chat, and we got members in the house that help support, and the Pure KNF Foundation also helping to make this, you know, not only worth my time, but worth my time. And I show up, you know, not just for the likes and the subs, because Lord knows, you know, you can like and subscribe if you haven't already, please do, but, or don't, whatever. Obviously you can look at how many subscribers I have and how much time and energy I put into this. And it's really not the, like, you know, I'm obviously not doing it for likes and subs. I'm doing it for you, the person that has tuned in, not trying to just virally spread this to more people. But anyway, I'm starting to feel run down again, because I'm ranting for no apparent reason to people that already love me. If you stayed this far into the episode, you're probably a valuable member, and I appreciate you. So thanks. Keep doing what you're doing. Be back next week. More Madaj, hopefully more Madaj. Hopefully I'm feeling a heck of a lot better, and then we can get into GCM after this and go dive deep. There's so much more. So, you know, stay in there. See you next week. Be healthy yourself. Watch out for the COVID. And try and help all those things that I need to do this week and all those things. So, all right, I'm going to get out of here before I talk too much. And thank you. Yeah, love you. Thank you, Cheryl. Aloha. Bye now. I'm just going to burst out of here. I'm just going to cut out of here. Okay. Shoots. See you next week. Bye. Love you. Bye. Oh, wait, I remembered. I'm not going to be back next week. Next week's Easter. Next week. See ya. All right, bye.